Peace, love, and light. Welcome to the existence changing experience that is the Institute of Biblical Studies and Higher Consciousness. And I'm Pastor Walker. Well, no longer Pastor Walker, Roe A. Walker. I know that it's saying Pastor on the screen. I'm having a hard time changing it on Zoom, but I'm Roe A. Walker, your guide, the founder, the leader, the teacher here. And again, your guide on the road to spiritual excellence and exaltation. I'm certainly grateful for this opportunity to come together with those of you that come in on Zoom with us every week. And for those that view these videos after I post them to YouTube, I just humbly ask that if this video or the videos on my channel are a blessing to you, to please like, share, and subscribe. Most importantly, share it, because this word is very important and needs to go out. But it can only get an outreach with your help. If you agree and if you like something or anything that I say in the video, it don't cost you nothing to just share it. If you want to support us and help us to go along, then share the videos. And for those of you that want to be of a financial support to us, you can cash app us at # IBSHC. That's IBSHC, the Institute of Biblical Studies and Higher Consciousness. All contributions and gifts, love gifts, are welcome. It definitely helps us to keep going forward as we continue to share the truth as we find it. I'm grateful for life and the great things thereof, for the blessings of family and loved ones, and just for health and strength and everything that the Creator of all allows us to achieve and accomplish, even the challenges that we face or that I face. I'm grateful for the Institute of Biblical Studies and Higher Consciousness, because the word says to despise not small beginnings. And I don't despise it. I take this work seriously. I'm grateful for this work. And when this work flourishes into its greatness, into a great hub of information and knowledge and training and leadership and everything that it is meant to be, I'm grateful that I will have accomplished that thing which I had determined to come here to this earth, or incarnated into this earth to do. Certainly, we have another Power Pack week. I don't have any announcements. We have another Power Pack week, another wonderful lesson to go into. And I hope that you're excited and ready to get into the information as we're going to put it out today, or I'm going to put it out today. When I say we, I mean me and my higher self and the spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh, however you see it. I am looking forward to seeing results, all the results of the fruit that is laid out and labored from this ministry. And I'm grateful for the internet, and I pray that this word be around for generations to come, so that they can be also revealed the things that they need to see. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and affirm in, and we're going to just start in again. I'm not going to promise you that I'm going to finish this today, because I'm not going to rush it. But whatsoever that the Spirit speaks, whatsoever the information is, I hope that it is a great benefit to you and encourage your life and create change. Let's affirm. Creator of all, we're grateful for this time and opportunity to share in the word. We're grateful for the information and revelations that are poured out. We're grateful for every financial door and every way made, every crooked path made straight, for the defense against enemies and beings and entities that seek to destroy us. We're grateful for the victory and strength and honor and exaltation and abundance and prosperity. We're grateful for increase in knowledge and even for greater wisdom and understanding. We humble ourselves and confess that we have no sin, and any transgressions against divine law or universal law that we may have committed, or transgressions rather, we align ourselves. We repent that we may be aligned, that we may continue to grow and ascend in consciousness, righteousness, and power. I humbly ask that you will think through my mind and speak through my mouth those things which are beneficial for the edification of those listening. I speak these things in the name of the divine, that it may come before the throne of the almighty power. So be it. Again, welcome to the existence changing experience that is the Institute of Biblical Studies and Higher Consciousness. And I am Real A. Walker, Oscar Walker, ready and willing to always fellowship with you via Zoom and via YouTube, and even in real life, if life and time permits. Certainly, we're grateful for this day again and ready to get into this information. So those of you that have your laptops, iPods, iPads, desktops, however you're viewing this video, however you read the word, your books, your Bibles, your scriptures, we're going to go ahead and dive in, shall we? The lesson topic for this week comes from John, the 8th chapter in Hebrew Yochanan, the 8th chapter, verse 32, and it reads as follows. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. That is our lesson topic. And ye shall know the truth. You know, there are many teachers. There are many great men and women that have existed throughout time, that have carried the burden of bearing truth. Some, their lives were ended because they came forth with truth. Truth is a very weighty, a very heavy item or attribute or characteristic, or however you want to classify it, to carry. There are many that say that they teach the truth, but they pity pat with it. They teeter-tot on it. You know, they tread lightly upon it. Some for fear of the repercussions of bringing truth, and then some for the mindset of deception. You know, any truth carrier, any person that says that they're teaching the truth or revealing the truth or bringing truth to you, you know, anyone can say that. But truth is a thing that has to be weighed. It has to be observed. It has to be proven. Even though you would love to trust the word of the person that's bringing it to you, this scripture says, and ye shall know the truth. So there's a method that has to take place to know the truth. You know, when you go to court and present yourself before the judge, two parties, the plaintiff and the defendant, have to present their cases. And the judge has to listen to both sides. And the judge has to examine the evidence so that the judge may know the truth. And if the plaintiff or if the person is a defendant and they're accused of a crime that they didn't commit, once the judge or the jury has heard and weighed the evidence and the truth is known, that person is made free. I know people like to quote that scripture saying that the truth shall set you free. No, it never said set. It was always make, because there's a reason why that word make is used. And again, going back to the course, when you're found innocent instead of guilty, you're made free. But if you're found guilty, you're made a prisoner. So let's take a look at these words, because there are some key words that are used. And these words are strong words, you know, that are used in this scripture. And a lot of times we read these words and we don't go back and define them and get the meat of what they mean. So this time we're going to take our time and explore the knowledge behind these words. The first word is shall. He said, and ye shall know the truth. Now, shall is a modal verb used to indicate a mandatory obligation. a mandatory obligation. Oh, it's going to happen. You're going to know it. And when you know it, it's going to make you free. Make a formal prediction. This is a formal prediction. This is a prediction of wholehearted belief and trust. Or offer suggestions in questions. In its verb sense, in the first person, expressing the future tense. The future tense. No one knows what the future is, but when you indicate this word shall, you are making a prediction, a prophetic utterance, or what have you, of what shall or what will be mandatorily. It means expressing a strong assertion or intention. Strong assertion or intention. It is my intent to know the truth. I'm exerting my knowledge, my brain, my power into knowing the truth. Now, in metaphysics, the word shall is the linguistic tool of the divine decree. This word shall is a catalyst. It is a key that opens doors via your mouth, via the vibration from your voice, from your throat chakra, to create into this reality. This is a word of certainty. And when you use this word in regards to your life with a settled belief in your solar plexus and your emotions charging your thought or your word, you will receive what you said that shall be, because it indicates mandatory, a mandatory obligation. This word shall is not to be trifled with. It's not to be played with. It's not to be underthought. It's not to be underexpressed. Because when you use this word, whether you mean it or not, because it indicates a mandatory obligation, what you speak from your mouth will come to pass. That's why he said, and ye shall, because he indicated mandatorily for people to know the truth so that they will be made free. We were in religion. And for some of you, you're still in religion. You still love Jesus. You still love God. But when the truth of religion comes to you and how it was created and what it was created for, and the different lies that are indicated in it, when you know that and you walk away from that, then you're made free. Why? You're made free from the bondage of men. You're made in their ideals of who you are and how you should be. The standards that were set by men. You're set free from the lies that they concocted to entrap you, to keep you out of your inward self and look into a God outside of you. You'll look at the different things that were written that don't make sense or that are not accurate or factual. When you begin to look at all of the things that encompass, and I'm not just talking about religion, this is in life, period. But when you look at the circumstances, situation, the people around you, and you can see where those things are not lining up factually, then you will know the truth and make yourself free from them. If you have a friend that you think it's your best friend, but they're always downing you, talking about you behind your back, always trying to seek what you have, trying to destroy your life, trying to take what you have, want everything you have, don't want to work for it, but want yours. When you see the truth of that person, when you know that they're a liar and a backbiter and always causing trouble and anguish and despair and all of the things that wicked people do, you know the truth of them and make yourself free by walking away from them. Don't have nothing else to do with them. Take your energy back. Maya Angelou said, when a person shows you who they are, believe them. that's the truth of them. If they show you that they're untrustworthy, that they're unreliable, believe them. Don't give them 10, 20 chances to prove the one thing, the same thing that they've been proving to you the whole time. Everyone deserves a fresh chance when upon first meeting them. And they may need one or two chances after that because nobody's perfect. But when they consistently show you a pattern of untrustworthiness, unfaithfulness, and all the things that come with negative people, then you know the truth of them mandatorily. But it is a linguistic tool of divine decree, absolute certainty. That's what this word indicates. An immutable cosmic law, because you are made of cosmic energy. That's why the universe listens to you. Because it is one language, one sound, one verse. That's what universe means. One song. So you have immutable cosmic law coming out of your mouth when you indicate your words, especially when you use the word shall. While will, W-I-L-L, represents the conscious intent or choice, shall signifies the inevitable outworking of cause and effect. Get what I'm saying? It might be my will to drink my Mina Agua mixed with my watermelon flavored sugar-free taste. I don't know what this stuff called, flavor packet. It might be my will to do that, but as long as it's sitting on that table, it's just my will. It's just representing conscious intent and choice. I intend to drink it. It's my choice to drink it. But when I say, man, I'm thirsty, I shall drink of this Mina Agua with this watermelon flavor packet to quench my thirst. Now it has become mandatory. Why? Because I reached out, grabbed it, uncapped it, and turned it up. There's a difference between will and shall. Two birds sitting on a power line. One decides to fly away. How many you got left? And if you said one, you're wrong. It's two. Because just because you decide a thing, just because you will to a thing to be, just because you desired it to be and you said that you want to do it, don't mean that you're gonna do it. It only becomes mandatory when you make the steps towards doing it. When your intent is, I don't care, hell or high water, I'm going to achieve this. I'm going to accomplish this. You have those of you that have been in college and desire to pass and get your degree, but had challenges. But because you said, I shall get this associate's degree. I shall get this bachelor's. I shall get this master's. I shall get this doctorate degree. Regardless of what you faced, you overcame it. You saw it through. Why? Because you said, I shall. Will indicates that it's not necessarily promised to be. Shall says, oh yeah, this baby coming to pass. Shall is the motivator. Shall signifies the inevitable outworking of cause and effect. It translates a spiritual principle into an absolute guarantee of manifestation. A guarantee. An absolute guarantee of manifestation. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's going to come to pass. That's why the word says, that which is done in the dark shall come to the what? Light. What goes on inside of you, whatever your thoughts are and desires, when you apply the intent of shall to it, it becomes reality. Whether positive or negative. Let's look at the breakdown of this. Because it says that shall is a principle into an absolute guarantee of manifestation. The language of absolute. In the metaphysical literature, the spiritual texts and spiritual texts, I'm sorry, let me go back, I'm not sorry. Excuse me. In metaphysical, literal, and spiritual texts, shall is used to remove doubt from the human mind. Hear what it says. Shall is used to remove doubt from your mind. Whatever you desire to have, whatever you desire to do, you must have your heart fixed and your mind made up with shall. To remove doubt from your mind. Because when you set out to do something positive, something productive, the challenge of doubt will come, especially when it seems like it's something that's way bigger than what you can accomplish. That's why when we were in Christianity, we were taught to quote that scripture, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But knowing now the truth of Christ and the Christ consciousness, the Christos, I can do all things through the Christ consciousness, through the Christos oil that comes down my back and charge into Kundalini energy to open up my pineal gland and my crown chakra. I can speak and it shall be. And I can move towards what shall be and work towards what shall be. Put the work in. Shall is used to remove doubt from the human mind. It takes an affirmation and grounds it in the certainty of the universe's mechanics. It takes what you say, what you're affirming, I am powerful, I am worthy, I am wealthy, I am wise, I shall be. It takes an affirmation and grounds it into the certainty of the universe's mechanics. It takes your affirmation when you pronounce shall and makes it an absolute to the universe, and the universe gives it back to you. But you must be cognizant of your mindset and your vibration. You must be aware of what you believe about yourself and the circumstance that you're in. Because your words can betray you. If you're saying something positive out your mouth, but you feeling that burn in your gut, in your solar plexus, you might well forget about that unless you command your energy back and reset yourself and start it over. Because when you feel that burn of doubt, that's the energy that goes into the universe. But when you say it with the peace and the surety and the calmness in your solar plexus, with a sureness in your heart, and you declare shall, it represents, it grounds, or it takes an affirmation and grounds it in the certainty of the universe's mechanics, the certainty, it will be, the certainty of, for certain, for sure. This word shall, cause and effect, karma, okay? Metaphysically, the word acts as a bridge between spiritual and physical realms. A bridge between. I desire mineral agua with watermelon flavor packet. I shall have it to quench my thirst. I don't see it. It's not in here, right? It's spiritual right now. I shall have it. Now it's physical. Tastes like watermelon soda too. Yeah, I love it. Mineral water, flavored. It's a bridge between spiritual and physical realms. It represents the binding nature of universal laws. That's why you need to learn these universal laws and know that you are operating in them, whether you want to accept it or not, Christian. Whether you want to accept it or not, Hebrew. Whether you want to accept it or not, Muslim. You're operating in them whether you want to accept it or not. So you might as well know it and use it wisely. But shall acts as a bridge between spiritual and physical realms and represents the binding nature of the universal laws. Go back. I put them laws out in some earlier videos. Now, we talked about will earlier. Let's go into will versus shall a little bit. Understanding, understanding, overstanding. The difference between these two words is central to metaphysics because we operate metaphysically, whether we want to accept it or not. For those of you that we have come this far by faith, leaning on the Lord. With the metaphysical laws acting around you, you'd have come far by faith. Will, the power of the mind to direct, decree, and set intentions, or set intentions. You can wake up in the morning and set your intentions and be like, this is what I want to do today. This is what I desire to do. Yep, I want to get this. I want to do that. But shall, the inevitable consequence and unfolding manifestation of that intent. Will sets the intent. Will sets the desire. Will gets the thought stirring, but shall makes that baby come to pass. It is the inevitable consequence, meaning unavoidable. It will happen. You can't stop it. The inevitable consequence and unfolding manifestation of that intent. You know what? I want a Krispy Kreme donut. I'm gonna get me a Krispy Kreme donut. That's my intent. Man, where my keys at? I'm going to get me some Krispy Kreme. That shall. Now I'm on the way to Krispy Kreme and get that hot now. Especially if I got a text say, hey man, that hot now sign on. Oh man, I'm finna go get me some Krispy Kreme. My will, my desire just turned into a shall. It just turned into a mandatory. It just turned into an act of action that caused me to receive that good, that soft and warm goodness of a Krispy Kreme donut. That's why I said 2 birds on the power line, one decided to fly away. How many you got left? Just because he decided, because he set the intent of flying away, does not mean that he flew away. He had to act on that intent and made it mandatory. In essence, I will to seek truth, and therefore I shall find peace. We're still talking about that word shall. The power of I am. The power of I am. Metaphysically, the first person use of shall. For example, I shall be, I shall overcome. This is why we have to put this word shall in the place of will. When you say, I will be rich, I will be happy, that's an intent. It's when they say that I shall be rich, I shall be happy. Now you got some intent. Now you got some power, some mandatory manifestation of that intent. So metaphysically, the first person use of shall, for example, I shall be, I shall overcome, anchors the I am presence. You remember, I am that I am? I am who I will be and shall be. It anchors the I am presence. It is the individual utilizing of their creative power to declare an unchanging truth about their spiritual identity. I am a spiritual being having an experience in a physical body. I am the observer outside of this body, seeing through the eyes that I have from another realm and dimension for this experience. I am a part of the monad. I am one with all that is. Now, when you're doing affirmations, you can't just stop at the I am affirmations. You have to go into I feel and I know, because those open up other chakras. But we'll talk about that another time. But this word shall is the individual utilizing of your creative power to declare the unchanging truth about your spirituality. It's about what you believe in yourself. If you're a person that always saying that I ain't no good and I'm a bother to people and people treat, you're declaring negative things on yourself, then you're making a declaration of your spiritual state. You're making a declaration of a state of being that produces those consequences into your life. You can't you can't keep saying I am broke. You're not broke. You can't keep saying that I am sorry and I am no good enough. You can't pronounce, because you're creating an unchanging truth about yourself. And ye shall know the truth. Is you being no good a truth of you? Is that who you are? If that you being broke, is that your truth? No, it's not your truth. Stop accepting those things to be your truth, because you're implying shall to them, and you're creating circumstances in your life that you don't desire to have. You desire greater. You desire better. You desire to do more, to be more influential. Pronounce the shall in the positive over your life and stop producing the negative. Stop pronouncing the negative. Know this word shall and its power and its impact, and utilize it wisely with intent and power. Because after all, it's the utilizing of your creative power to declare an unchanging truth about your spirituality. Because it's your spirituality that creates the circumstances physically in your life. The quicker you acknowledge that truth, the quicker you'll be free. So that's the word shall. See how powerful that word is? See how many doors it can open for you and how many ways can be made. See how great a life that you can create just by implying this word, not only implying it, but putting the energy behind it, setting the intent and giving your intent life. When you go back to the book of Genesis, the first chapter, it declares that the Elohim. Now, Elohim is not singular. It does not signify the creator of all, God, Yahweh, Allah, by him or itself. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. We're going to go into that, because it wasn't the creator of all that declared that. He wasn't talking to the angels. I used to always wonder, well, who was God talking to when he said that? Because the angels don't create. They don't create beings. Oh, he was talking to the angels. He was talking to himself, Jesus, and the Holy Ghost. But they all supposed to be the same person, though. That's schizophrenic behavior. I'm talking to myself. Self, what? Let's make man in our image. Okay. What you think? Okay. That's split personalities. That's schizophrenia. But there was more than one being talking to each other when this took place. Utilize that word shall and unlock a great world ahead of you. Next word, he said, and ye shall know. Next word up. To know means to be aware of. And you will be aware of the mandatory manifestation of truth. To know means to be aware of, to understand. Now, we use understand, overstand, because when you look at the power of words, that word understand means to stand under. Now you can stand under some things. I will stand under truth. I will stand under that. But I try to be careful as how do I use this word now that I know. Why? That's why I'm made free, because I know the truth of it. I'm aware of the truth of that word. To know means to be aware, to understand, or possess factual information. As a verb, it implies having information, being familiar with a person's place, a person or place, or possessing a specific skill. See, when I was in Y'all 7 Lawn Care, I knew the specific or possessed the specific skill of cutting and edging, of beautifying the yard. When I worked for the government, I specialized in the specific skill of driving the forklift, in the specific skill of driving the tractor trailer, because everybody can't do that. That's a specific skill. I specialized in the specific skill of inventorying the ammunition that I had to inventory. When I was in the Navy, a vertical launch technician, before they stopped the use of the crane on the ships with the Mark 41 vertical launching system, I specialized in driving the crane. Yes, I am a crane operator also. But the thing that I want to specialize and know the most is how to live this life spiritually through spiritual power and empowerment, and make my life and the lives of those around me better. To be aware of, understand, or possess factual information. As a verb, it implies having information, being familiar with a person or place, or possessing a specific skill. Now, in this verb sense, it means to be aware through observation. Listen, going back to what I said about the courtroom. To be aware of through observation, inquiry, or information. The judge sits and listens to be aware through his or her observation of the plaintiff, the defendant, and the witnesses. Also, the jury, if they have one. They observe the evidence. They listen to the inquiry of the lawyers. The judge makes an inquiry to gain a better knowledge of what's going on, a greater insight. And then the information, which is the evidence that's presented. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. The substance of what I desire, what I intend, is my faith. But my faith is an unwavering belief in something. So when I have an unwavering belief in something and I feel it to be true within me, and I know it to be true within me, then I shall receive it. Because I know it. And because I know it, I know that it shall be. That's why Yahweh, Jesus said that if you have the faith the size of a mustard seed, you can say unto this mountain, be thou removed. You can't just speak them words without knowing, without shall, without expectation. There's an old story that a woman will pray every night, Lord, move this mountain. She had a big mountain behind her house. Lord, move this mountain. Lord, move this mountain. Because her desired intent was for the mountain to be moved. For whatever reason, all of a sudden, after months and months of praying that prayer, all of a sudden one day she's awakened to a great boom, boom. The sound of demolition. A road was being brought in behind where her property was. And a tunnel was being made to go through the mountain. So the mountain had an opening. It was altered because of the explosions. And the mountain was removed. I might not have said that completely right because I vaguely heard it as a child. But the bottom line is this. When you're aware through observation and inquiry and information, when you have settled it within you as true, you should be made free. Number 2, have developed a relationship with, in parentheses, someone through meeting and spending time with them. Be familiar or friendly with. Listen, if you're in a relationship and you design a relationship and you're not setting time aside for that person that's supposed to be your special significant other, to show them, to get to know them, to observe them, to make inquiry of them, to receive information from them or their background and their ways and who they are and who they've been with and all of this. If you're not taking the time to spend time with them and develop a relationship with them and to become familiar with them, you're failing your relationship. And if you're seeking them and if you're spending time with them and you're governed by past hurts and disappointments, things that people said about you and things that people have done to you, then how can you know the truth of that person? Because you're judging them based off of what happened to you in the past. You're judging them based off of a fear that you have that something will happen to you again. And if you keep that fear of something happening to you again, that is a shall in your life. And it will come to pass. How do I know? Because I was in a financial struggle for years. Because I kept having the same thought of the same thing happening to me. And it became mandatory that it happened until I stopped having that thought. And when I stopped having that thought, it stopped happening to me. I overcame, I came out, and I did better. But those negative thoughts will bring a shall into your life that you don't want. Even if I have a thought of a bad relationship or some things that happened to me in the past that people did to me, I'll say to myself, okay, that happened back then, but I shall be happy with this next person. I shall have all the things that I desire with this person. I shall have love and love this next person or this next thing that I desire to do. I shall have this next job. I wasn't happy on my last one. I was mistreated on my last job, but I shall be happy on this one. I shall have favor on this job. My last business failed. I learned my mistakes, but this business shall be successful. Oh, I shall be rich with this business. So whether you desire to shall it or not, because you're emitting that energy, if it's negative, that shall going to be inevitable. It's going to be mandatory. Recognize the power of shall, and then know what shall be. Having the information of being familiar with it through observation, inquiry, and information. develop a relationship with what shall be. If you're looking for a good wife or a good husband, get to know that person and decree your shall. Decree your happy ending. If you're a person in search of that, decree your shall. Decree your happy ending and know it. Become intimate with that. Because metaphysically, to know is not to passively store intellectual information, but to experience an active, intuitive fusion between the mind, in parentheses, the knower, and the true essence of reality, in parentheses, the known. It is the total apprehension of being transcending physical perception, because physical perception is that that person let me down. Physical perception is that person did me wrong. Physical perception is they make me feel like I'm a bother. My physical perception of they make me feel unwanted. But you have to transcend that physical perception and rational logic to achieve ultimate universal truth. And the truth is, this next person, they love you. They desire to make you happy. They will be faithful to you. They will give you the world. I'll give you the sun, the rain, the moon, the stars, and the mountain. I will give you the world. And all that you wish for, and even more. Because, girl, I love you more than you could know. Please excuse my voice. And that's for sure. You gotta feel the person out and let them show you a better way. And that's in business, that's in relationships, that's in family, that's in life. It is not passively, this word no. It's not to passively store intellectual information. You ain't supposed to get this information and just keep it, just sit on it, store it up. You got to put that baby to work. It says to experience an active, that's a word of action, and intuitive fusion between mind and the true essence of reality. It is the total apprehension of being transcending physical perception and rational logic to achieve ultimate universal truth. What it looked like ain't what it is. It might seem intimidating to you, but it may be the best thing that ever happened to your life. But if you're not willing to take a chance on it, whether it's that business, whether it's that relationship, whether it's that new way of life that you're doing for yourself, the metaphysical philosophy and esoteric traditions characterize this concept in three ways. Ontological unfolding is the first one. Knowing is not just having a fact. It is self-transcendence. Let me read that again. Knowing is not just having a fact. It is self-transcendence. The knower and the known are viewed as interconnected. By knowing an object or a universal truth, the individual actually becomes that truth, bridging the gap between subject and object. That's why you must weigh it, inquire it, look at it, observe it, and then settle it in you. How great do you want to be? You can be as great as you want to be. You just have to accept the greatness of you ontologically. Whatever you believe that is a universal truth, you become. By knowing an object or a universal truth, the individual actively becomes that truth, bridging the gap between subject and object. Now, the next one is the intuitive grasp or gnosis. Rather than gathering data through physical senses, metaphysical knowing relies on deep intuitive insight. This is another way that you know. It is direct illumination from a universal consciousness, in parentheses, sometimes called the God mind, that penetrates beyond the limits of physical matter. It is the deep intuitive insight. It's that feeling, that gut feeling that you have inside. It's what you see in your spirit. It's what you receive when you're meditating. So you don't gain this through physical senses. This is strictly through your intuition, through your mind, your God mind, your higher self mind, your faith mind. A direct illumination, enlightenment, a universal consciousness, the monad. It penetrates the limits of physical matter. It goes into the universe. It connects to the cosmos. It's that thing that you know. You don't even know how you know it, but you just know it. And then it comes to pass and it happens. Or you're able to do something that you didn't even know. You don't know how to do this, but you can do it. Gnosis, intuitive grasp. And the third one, priori truths. Priori truths. In classical metaphysics, to know is to grasp necessary and universal truths that do not rely on sensory evidence. This involves the foundational principles of reality, such as causation, existence, and the nature of the soul. I'm going to stop right there. We're going to pick up next week with truth, because I think we got a lot out of shall and know today. You need to be able to go back and sit down and digest those two, because you need to settle it. If you're going to get down to the truth of your life, the truth of your existence, the truth of the things around you and the people around you, you have to know, you have to understand or comprehend these two words, shall. If you're going to create a better life for yourself and go to higher planes of consciousness and all of that stuff and spirituality, you need to recognize and acknowledge the power of the word shall and implement it into your life. And add to shall knowing. Not just physically, intuitively, psychically, spiritually, so that you can get to the truth of all things. The most important truth you need to get to is the truth of you. I'm going to say that rhyme again. The most important thing that you need to get to is the truth of you. Once you get to the truth of you, everything else is simple. But anything else is uncivilized. This has been the existence changing experience that is the Institute of Biblical Studies and Higher Consciousness. I'm Roy A., formerly Pastor Walker, and it's been my pleasure to open up this lesson topic with you, to you, to gain this information, even unto myself, because the husbandman must be the first partaker of the fruits. And I look forward to you joining me next week again for more dynamic teaching from this life existence changing experience. Thank you for your time and your attention. Again, like it, but most importantly, share it and subscribe. Let's affirm out, shall we? Creator of all, we're grateful for the opening of this informational session. Thank you for the information and knowledge that's going forth. Thank you for the opening of the hearts and minds of those that receive this word and apply it to their life. I know that it will change them. It shall change them. I know that it shall change me. And as we depart from this Zoom, but never from your presence, we know that you go with us and keep us until we come together again. I speak these things before the presence of the Creator, or in the name of the Creator, that it may come before the almighty power. So be it. May the Creator bless you and keep you. May he cause his countenance to shine upon you, be gracious unto you. May he show you his mercy and bid you his peace. Peace, love, and light. See you next week for more of the same. Chew on these 2 words and manifest power in your life. Peace, love, and light.